North American team, maybe, and they have, around 90 to 120 ping. But they don't have that crazy high ping. And that's going to be a difference maker, I think, in this match. And we'll see how it's going to turn out. Fnatic, if you guys did not watch, Fnatic did end up taking the match against URAN for third place, but it was a 2-1. It was actually a very close 2-1. They almost won on Siege of Shanghai, but it ended up going to URAN there in the last, or the second round, very, very end of it. And then we did have that map number 3, which was kind of one-sided. DAWNBREAKER was close. Came down to around 50 tickets, I believe. But, yeah, Lockers was, I think, 99 tickets for Fnatic. So definitely they closed it out strong. But, it goes to show that, that these South American teams have something to prove. And we'll see if they're going to be able to prove it this time. We are going to be seeing Epsilon here on the Chinese side, so we do have to go ahead and switch down on over. But that is going to be a classic breakout, as we are going to be seeing Epsilon kind of just hanging out onto that B site. Does look like Duke possibly going to be pushing back in here onto Bravo. He doesn't end up getting taken down, so Dexterity is going to be able to get first blood twice now. As David 2K, we'll see if he can hold on to this back push, and he is going to be able to take out Julio. So that's going to be a little bit of a saving grace there. It will prevent a lot of that heavy back pressure that they normally would get there onto the alpha flag. And there's Epsilon safe, doing a great job with that ACR. I would say Safe and Mayic, MVPs of the match against Fnatic yesterday. It saved them. I mean, those guys were locking down these maps so hardcore, it was pretty ridiculous. But Safe does end up getting picked up there inside Lockers. We are going to see a one-on-one going back and forth. Mayic coming out on top there as he does take out next. B flag, though, will return into the favor here of Dexterity. And oh my god, look at the amount of carnage right there. Yeah, three more bodies going down overall there onto that alpha flag. Will go into the favor here of Dexterity. So they do have control of that better side of the map. You can already see them. Oh, but look at those spawns! Look at those spawns! We'll see if they actually find this out. 9 is in a pretty good position here to just go ahead and rotate onto that C flag as soon as they see... No, Epsilon doesn't know it! Oh my god, Epsilon didn't even know that 9 was on ledge, and 9 gets a free kill, basically, spotting out one more player trying to transition to that B flag. It is not going their way so far, so Epsilon looking like they might be able to get the gray out here as they do succeed in that. Also going to be able to get onto A as well. So really good job so far from Epsi trying to mitigate this damage that they did there for just a few seconds, but Safe dropping down will be able to get the back spray onto Ness. Decides to try and rotate back out to that ledge position to get a little bit more pressure on Dexterity, try to force them back inside their spawn. 128 to 132. Epsilon taking the lead in this match so far with that ticket advantage. We'll see how long they can actually hold on to it. They are in a good position here. They have that Alpha Bravo set up. Dexterity, though, trying to push back in over there next to Ditch. So far, not going to be working out for him, though, oh, that was going to be a real close nade coming in here onto Safe, as that B flag starting to flash on down in favor here of Dexterity, but Safe can't get the two-piece. Two players going down for Epsilon. That is going to be a triple cap here, guys, in just a few seconds. Hork needs to stay up, needs to stay alive. If he can just get one more spawn, and he does end up getting picked up. So the back, or the random spawns are going to be all over here onto that Charlie flag. I don't really agree with them waiting for those spawns. I think they should have had Hork. At least one spawn there on Hork. I can't imagine that they were actually all timed to be at the same time, because as soon as he died, you saw them all spawning in at the same time. But that will be a 3 cap for Dexterity, and Epsilon needs to get on a burn here pretty quick. Now, 150 tickets, it is very low. I mean, it is definitely not a ticket count that you want to mess around with, because you have basically maybe 1-2 opportunities to make a comeback if you're lucky or good. Depending on how you want to look at it. So right now, we are going to be seeing them getting out of this triple cap, but for how long are they going to be able to do this? We are going to be seeing one player for Epsilon trying to push back over towards that alpha flag. Ness, though, in a really good position here to stop the burn. He is listening there for the footsteps, sees the flag burning, so he knows that something is going to be up, and we'll see how many players he's going to be able to take off of this, as he does spot him back out, and I think he will be able to stop the burn. There he goes. We'll be able to get the gray out, and nobody left for his teammates, but he is going to be able to stay alive as he takes down David 2K. Where is the second and the third here for Epsilon, as those smokes are going to be pouring back in? Can't get the two-piece, though, as he does get picked up. Now it's going to be up to ProTac here to try and do some work, as they're just flooding into this alpha site. And those smokes really causing a lot of confusion, I would have to say, for both teams. I mean, Epsilon's struggling here of getting something going, as well as Dexterity, but Dexterity with some nice little spawns there, not going to be enough as they all get taken down. Really good play there from Epsilon, and we'll see if they can come back here with a very, very strong burn. Duke BT already in a position to try and do some work there onto offices. Not going to be able to stay alive for too long. As we are going to be seeing Safe currently holding strong there onto bridge, runs right smack dab into that nade. Nice play right now for Dexterity. I like them pushing in onto this alpha flag, really prioritizing that A site. And this is something that a lot of teams, they don't really do too awful much. They try and go for that CB push, but with them being able to force over here onto A, it's going to be forcing Epsilon back, and they are going to be able to get onto B as well. So really, really good plays coming out right now for Dexterity. Now, see if Epsilon can actually come back here and get a flag. This is the second triple cap, I think, that we have seen for Dexterity coming in here, as just Epsilon not able to hold on to him for too long, which is very funny too, because if you look at the scores, they're not that bad, especially for a team that's gotten 2 triple caps off of this. So with them coming in here, A flag going over into the favor of Epsilon, we are going to be seeing some pressure put on for bridge as well. 86 to 69. Looking really, really strong right now for Dexterity. We'll see how long it's going to be lasting, as that will be Duke PT picking up one. Looking for the 2-piece there inside lockers. Not going to be able to find him, though, as he's got to be careful with a lot of these spawn bombs. And something else, too, is that European teams are not really used to these massive spawn bombs and pushes that we do see a lot of times. Nice shot there with the Rex, as can they finish this out? No. We are going to be seeing Julio still up and alive inside lockers. He is very low on health, trying to get those reses as fast as possible. Safe, making his way around the corner. He didn't get any kills off of that, as he goes down onto Beepers. He was the only defense there onto that alpha flag. Did Duke clean that up? I think they may have, as that alpha flag is not going to be flashing just yet. So that was actually a really, really close and a potential mistake, but we are going to be seeing it not all for naught, basically, as that alpha flag will be going back over into their possession. Now we are going to be seeing Dexterity in a double gimme situation. They are going to be kind of forced in a weird pinch move here, I guess you would have to say, as they may collapse here onto that Bravo flag in just a few seconds. We do have Safe with control of planters. This is going to give him a high ground advantage, as well as some really good angles there inside bridge. And if you're wondering why he's not shooting right now, it's because he's not really too confident, I would imagine, in him actually getting those kills. He's just spotting them out for his teammates to try and do some work. But he will be able to finish that off. Takes down Nest, and that is a really good spot there, guys, if you are able to play patiently. But we are going to be seeing just these flags trading round and round and round and round. And I would imagine that Safe is going to be going back with those nades. Yeah, he tried to actually get a nade in there fast enough, but it wasn't going to be so. 58-58. We are all tied up here at the very start of this match. Nice pickup there, as that will be Hort picking up 9, but gets shot with a rocket to the face as soon as he makes some headway up there onto ledge. Now it's going to be up to Julio to make something happen. He is going to be using those Inji kits. How many Inji kits do we actually have out for Dexterity? Just one Inji kit. So, and this is definitely a good move. If you guys ever have problems with getting anybody up onto ledge, or taking care of a guy that's sitting onto ledge, you can always pull out that engineer kit, start rocketing those panels down, and it restricts the area with which they can play. And that is going to be Julio trying to go back and forth there onto ledge. He's going to be able to spot out at least 2 of those players, so they know it's going to be fairly heavy there with players. But oh, the trade out with the rocket! You gotta love that, as Wag will be coming back in here, trying to get the res as fast as possible. Work, though, doing some damage. He's very low on health. I would imagine he's going to die within this exchange. No reses are going to be coming in here for Dexterity just yet. He is full 100 health now, so he's going to be able to attack this C site here. Or, I'm sorry, he's going to be able to defend the C site here fairly well. Duke PT now up inside B offices, picking up 1. Don't know if Ward finished out the second one. No, he did not. Both of them going down. Possible triple cap coming in here once more. David 2K, the only player up for Epsilon, as he's going to be getting onto that alpha flag fairly quick. Oh, Safe, though, trading out, saving that B flag. Or, I'm sorry, that C site. That is huge right there. With him saving that C flag, That is going to alleviate a lot of pressure here from Epsilon. They are going to be stuck in a double gimme, but they do have that burn in their favor. Now Protax trying to come back out, makes them happen onto that A site. Not going to be the case, though. Safe transitioning, already waiting for this. Picking up Nesk as well, 33-32. We are all evened up once again, as Epsilon should be taking the lead here in just a few seconds. But we are going to be seeing a very, very tight match here, guys. If this is the way the rest of the maps are going to be going, pretty awesome stuff here so far. Nobody from Dexterity is pushing in onto that C side just yet. Well, as soon as I say that, we are going to be seeing the transition now. Probably going to be getting a couple of back spawns on there, but Epsilon already moving in position there for the B. But oh, look at that Dexterity with a nice push there onto that B site. They should be able to overwhelm this. As you can see, they are going to be able to spot out glitch stairs, no problem. C flag will start to burn back over. We are going to be seeing 2 players from Epsilon winning out on a 2-on-2 battle. But they did not secure themselves that B site for very long, and Dexterity is going to have the better side of the map. They're going to have the stronger side of the map and the stronger flag holds. This is going to be an AB hold, which is the most preferred hold on this particular map. You're going to be forcing the spawns over there next to C. We do have Epsilon trying to make some headway over here, but they have so much pressure here onto that Charlie flag that they kind of have to stay back, because as soon as they rotate onto that Alpha site, Dexterity is already going to be in a position there to rotate onto C. If you look at it right now, really good spread coming out here, but Duke not able to make any headway there as he does get picked up. Julio there using the splash damage of those rockets, taking down Mayic, and we might just see round number 1 here going to Dexterity, as Epsilon is going to be losing out 22-0. Nice play so far here from Dexterity coming out of the gate, just a swinging. I mean, honestly, getting those 2-3 caps right from the start, that was pretty impressive, I would have to say, as Epsilon's still trying to drain these tickets down as much as possible. So I don't think they're going to come back and win this, but it is going to be very interesting. We have 3 more spawns left up for Dexterity. Nobody can spawn in here for Epsilon. Oh my god, Hork! He stayed alive! How is Hork staying alive right now on the Bravo flag? And he takes down Nesk as well! Looking for more! No, not going to be able to get the shots, but if you take a look right now, Dexterity just secured themselves that B flag. Mayic is the only player alive for Epsilon, and that will be it, but down to 6 tickets from what could have been around 20. Beautiful job there from Epsilon at the very end of the match. They were almost getting that there, guys. I got to tell you what, that was beautiful play there from Epsilon. And Dexterity almost lost it there towards the end, but they do have that 6-ticket advantage. And as we have seen many times before here, guys, 6 tickets can definitely mean the difference between a win and a loss. We have seen multiple times, 1 ticket being the decider in these very close maps. So that may be the case that we're going to be seeing here today. I really don't know. But I would imagine that we're going to have several of these maps going down to single-digit tickets. So we are going to be switching sides here. Epsilon will have the easier breakout side. Dexterity will have the harder breakout side, so we'll see what advantage that Epsilon can get from the very beginning. Now, most of the time what we do see here is the C-side team going for a very heavy BA push. They'll push planners pretty hard, and they'll end up getting control of that C and that B flag pretty quick within the match. Now, what their aim most of the time is going in for that Alpha flag. They want to try and rotate to that A flag and slow push down into that Bravo site. If they can flip the map, that is going to be good. They like that. If you guys can't see it, but I have 2 thumbs up. But they want that. They want to flip the map. They want to have that A-B side. As we saw, if a team can lock that down, it is pretty brutal to try and come back out of. Dexterity, though, making their way. It looks like they're going to be coming a full ditch push. So we should be seeing maybe 1 to 2 pushing down ditch, and the rest of them, well, no, none of them are suiciding. No, there's no way they're doing a 3-man ditch push. They may be going, but then why would they do that? So what they could be doing right now is a 3-man ditch push. They could do a 2-man ditch push, 1 over here towards towards ramp, and then 2 over to A. That would just be a weird They're doing, wow, that is a really weird setup. Okay, because it's going to take them a long time to get over there towards that alpha flag, but we are going to be seeing one going into ditch, one pushing over here onto that B site. It does look like Brontak going down almost immediately, and we'll see if... I want to hold on with Mayek right now, because Mayek is going to be a really big decider here. If he can hold on to this C flag, and they can put enough pressure there, because we do have Hort pushing in fairly quickly onto that A flag. And Mayek has been able to spot this back out, so this is a big deal here, guys. With him being able to get the spot onto that C flag, this is going to allow him to really be able to contest this very, very strongly for that C site. And he's trying to go back and forth with these Magnum shots, but nothing is connecting. There you go, as he takes down 9. But unfortunately, they ended up having a spawn coming back over here towards that C flag, so that was pretty good here for Dexterity, as it will allow them to get onto that B flag very, very fast. And they didn't lose A in the process, which is exactly what they want to do in that situation. Now we do see Nesk sitting on top of ledge, 143 to 137. Remember, 6 tickets. That's our ticket count here, guys. 6 tickets. So we have a long ways to go before we get up there. But Ness taking down Meg, looking for that 2-piece. Not going to find it yet, as that B flag will start to burn back over. But if we see reinforcements coming in from behind, as we are 9 picking that up. Look at the kill feed right there. That was just 9 and Nesk all day long, taking out every single one of those players from Epsilon. Now the spawns are going to be coming back in for that C flag. 133 to 134, all evened up once again. Epsilon looking in for a possible ditch push here. We do have one going all the way over here to back A. He is going to get picked up very, very quickly. Julio also going to be spotting him out next to Bridge. And they are just playing this like a boss. I'm loving this so far from Dexterity. Love the playstyle so far. Love the positioning as they're setting up. Just really, really nice. And now they are going to be able to further out their lead even more. We do have a back A push coming back here for Epsilon. We'll see if Wag is going to be able to bomb Wag. One of my favorite players to watch about a month ago or so, when I was actually casting these guys on a regular basis. He does end up getting picked up, and that A flag will be returning for Epsilon. But the good thing here for Dexterity is that they're able to rotate fast enough. So immediately when they see that A side starting to burn over, they're sitting onto that C flag to get the rotation. So they are looking really good in those respects. And that's something that a Brazilian team really struggles with. And this is nothing against Brazilian teams. It's just the play style that they have managed to gain. And it's not as rotate heavy. It's more Zerg heavy for the South Americans than it is for the EU guys. But really good Magnum shot there from 9. We are going to be seeing now a possible triple cap coming back in here once again. Epsilon really, really struggling here on this map. Again, this is Dexterity's best map, one of their best maps, I would have to say, if not their best map. And they're definitely proving that at the moment. 86 to 131, and oh my gosh, unfortunately we have crashed out once again. Really not sure as to why I keep crashing out, guys, but we're going to jump back in to this match as fast as possible. So keeping up with the scoreboard right now, does look like it's going to be 81 to 129. Dexterity still with that lead, and they are going to be continuing on with that burn. 80 tickets now for Epsilon. If you take a look at the KDs, David 2K 1-7. That is definitely not where you want to be sitting, especially in a finals match. And oh no, could not join server. EA, why you do this to me, bros? Why you do this to me? So hopefully we are not going to be having any issues where I'm not able to join in the server. 74 to 121, still the burn in the favor here of Dexterity. Pretty big lead as well, as they are going to be sitting about 45 tickets in an advantage. And if we do have David 2K starting to pick it up a little bit in the KD department, as well as Safe. You know, Safe is also another key to that team here recently, anyways, to get ahead of it. They've did an amazing job against Fnatic yesterday. As I said before, it was him and Mayek up at the top of the leaderboards every single time, and that really, really does make a difference when you have those two players really putting down the lead. But right now it's just Duke PT really doing anything at all. And we are back in the game here, guys. Alright, so we are going to be seeing a 2 cap here for Dexterity, or I'm sorry, for Epsilon. And they will be able to control that A and C flag, but that's not really the flags that you do want to have. Again, double gimmies, they can be possible here on Dawnbreaker. In fact, we did see strats quite a while ago, probably about 6 months ago, that were designed around double gimme type strats. But it just proved that it was just way too difficult to try and do. And with that being said, we are going to be seeing that A flag now starting to tick on over towards Dexterity, 51 to 108, 55 ticket game in favor here of Dexterity. And remember, 6 tickets is our deciding factor. So if we do see this going down below 6 tickets for Epsilon, it will be in the favor here of Dexterity of map number 1. So B flag now going over in favor here of of Epsilon. Dexterity getting a 4-man wipe. We don't see any of the spawns over there onto that C site, as that will be Mayet getting picked up just on his ankle, probably showing around the corner as he does get taken down. And while CB is not the most favorable position for you to actually make any kind of headway on, it definitely can be used. And we're going to be seeing Epsilon trying to further that back out. The only thing I don't like right now is that they have no presence over here inside bridge. And they're going to be very heavy over there onto ledge side. Now, the only time I want to see ledge being used heavily is when you do have control of that Alpha Bravo setup. But as it is right now, that's going to be relatively undefended, and we are going to be seeing a potential back rage there to that C site if Dexterity does want to do that. 45 tickets to 89, and we are going to see Epsilon starting to whittle down that lead little by little, but look at the pressure that's going to be coming back in. And I want to point out right now 9, who could go in for the back rage, but no, he's spotted out. Doesn't matter. Taken down Horic, gets the 2-piece. He's looking for it. Pulls out the Rex, but safe, too strong there on the trigger as he does pick him back up. Rotation onto A has happened. And Epsilon looking really decent here in terms of where they are at. They have position onto ledge. They have position here into offices. Nobody is over onto A right now. So yeah, I'm liking this setup here for Epsilon. They should be able to burn down at the very least 20 to 25 tickets before there is a flag change, unless they just royally mess up in terms of their frags. Safe right now, pushed up very aggressively here inside offices. Need to be careful not to give away over here onto that Alpha flag, but they have. Look at this. We are going to be seeing Doopy Tree trying to hold on, but he is not going to be able to. He does get picked up and taken down. Where's the rotation there onto that C flag? Hasn't happened yet, as we do see Safe now pushing back over there towards that Charlie site. They do not need to leave B flag alone. Dexterity is one of those teams that can zerg with the best of them. They are so good at getting those reses and pushing at the same time. It is unbelievable. And I got to tell you what, guys, if Epsilon lets them, they will be completely demolished in that sense. And 36 tickets to 68. Epsilon not nearly burning down as many tickets as they wanted to. They still have control of that 2-flag burn. They are using B for now, but they do have high ground advantage over here onto bridge. We should be seeing some really nice plays coming out as well from ledge. Here we go, Safe reinforcement picking up 1, getting the burn onto that B site. Is it clear? It is not. We do have one more player for Dexterity on the other side of the B crates. 29 to 63 here. Very tense moment for both of these teams. No team obviously wants to go down 0-1 in the map pool. Always want to go up in your maps, and Wag is going to do his very best to stay alive, but he can't get all of those kills. He does get picked up. Rotation here for Dexterity onto that C flag. Really loving that there. But no, Horic said, sit down, my man. You are not going to be getting the kill on me. Picking up 1 there for himself. Rotation onto the A flag will try to happen for Epsilon for 9. With the possible defense, he is going to be able to pick up 1, not 2, though. He does eventually go down, but again, that B flag is just left so open, and Epsilon is just not able to rotate in time. It's just not happening. Dexterity had too much of a lead there, and if we saw this out of Epsilon within the very beginning of the match, yeah, it'd be a lot closer. But the fact that Dexterity was able to get that 50 to 55 ticket advantage right from the start really did put a crimp there on the plans of Epsilon to try and make something happen out of this. But 3 players going down for Dexterity. Honestly, it's just a matter of time, I think, before we go down below that ticket count. Every single spawn that Epsilon has will be 1 more life that they are not going to be able to use. As we are going to be seeing a rotation. Epsilon giving up onto that alpha flag. They're not willing to put any more resources onto the A site than they have to. Duke BT getting picked up as well, but no, they are going to be getting some spawns coming back in. Nesk failing out there on the defense of that A flag. C didn't go their way either, and that is not even going to matter because we do go below that 6 ticket mark. So congratulations there to Dexterity for taking map number 1. Alright guys, unfortunately I don't have my overlays not working here. So we're going to try this one more time. Alrighty then. So yeah, very, very good game right there from both teams. Dexterity coming out on top with that massive lead. That was a big deal. Getting out that many tickets allows you a lot of opportunities to mess up, if you will. And Dexterity did mess up. I mean, they gave away quite a bit of the lead. They gave away quite a bit of a ticket count. But because they had that buffer there, they were able to get back up on their feet. They didn't have to worry too much about losing, a whole lot of tickets. As long as they stayed in the lead, as long as they were able to get Epsilon down below that 6 ticket mark, they were okay. And it definitely shows. Nest, though, putting up some big numbers, 21-9. On the other side, though, we are going to be seeing Duke, 22-14. So very good plays from both of those players. But unfortunately, with Duke, Hork was struggling really bad. I think it was 1-7 until about the middle of the map, and then he started getting some kills underneath his belt. But when you have a player that's starting out that bad, it does definitely hurt you. So we should be seeing them kind of warming up here, hopefully for this next map for Epsilon, playing a little bit better. We are going to be going over here towards their pick, which will be on Storm, which is a good map. I like Storm. Storm is definitely a map that relies on very long-range picks, but I think it relies more so on positioning. You have to have better positioning here on PARACEL Storm because of the fact that we are going to be seeing such a heavy emphasis on those Bravo B buildings. You can't really get a successful burn. We have seen teams do it. I think MYM did it not too long ago in a Go4 Cup that I was casting. They did an AC burn. And, while that is not ideal, it is definitely doable. Definitely doable. Most of the time, what you are going to be seeing coming out of these teams are... we should be going live on this one. Hold on here, guys. So what we should be seeing out of these teams is an BA hold. AC holds can work as well. So that is definitely a option that we could be seeing out of these teams. Rockets are going to be key. So one of the things that we are going to be seeing, probably 1 to 2 NGs per team. Some teams go strictly medics, and they let the other team go engineer. What that basically allows them to do is, because a lot of teams blow out the same exact spots every single time. You blow up a couple of walls on Solo House, you blow up a couple of walls over here on the B buildings. There's some positions over here on C that you can blow up if you want, but mainly you're going to be seeing those rockets being used right here on these 2 buildings. And it's like I said, everybody does it, so you can kind of leave it up to one team if you want to hit those particular spots, and then you don't even have to worry about having one guy on your team without med or without defibs. And that could very well be the case this time. Alright, so we are ready. Everybody from Dexterity is in the game. Yes. Alright, so we are going to be seeing Dexterity on the better side. They do have that BA side. But I would say that most of the time it's the harder breakout just to get to particular flags. Epsilon may go for a bit of a safe breakout where they can put 2 onto A, 1 over onto mid. So you put 2 A, you put 1 mid, and then 1 to C, and then 1 coming inside to B flag. That's pretty much a safe breakout that you can have. The other way that you can play this is a very heavy B push, where you push 2 to mid, 2 to B, 1 to C, and you leave A kind of alone. which is something that we have seen quite a bit. The other one that was quite popular for North American teams anyways is you push 2 to mid, 1 to B, 1 to C, and then 1 on the backside of A, like way back around here onto A, and you try to get this guy that's going to be holding it on to beach side. For Dexterity, I would imagine that they're probably going to be going for a fairly even breakout, probably 2 to A, 1 mid, and then 1 B to 1 solo house, which that might be the case. It looks like they are going to go 2 mid, as Epsilon is going to be going over to solo house as well. David 2K trying to come up through here. He gets picked up almost immediately. Duke PT, though, will be able to get his own kill. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get onto the A burn, and he goes down almost instantly there to Nesk. Very good shots coming out from Nesk in this match. As I said, he is very good pickup. They actually got him from Uran, who got him from Noobs and War, which is really funny because Noobs and War was just crushing Uran there for a while, and they ended up picking up Nesk and I believe it was Julio. And then Noobs and War kind of fell apart after that. And then we did see Uran losing both of their players now to Dexterity, and they are not the team that they used to be you know, a couple weeks ago. So it's amazing what that one player can do, the difference that one player can make on a team. So now B flag transitioning over here towards Epsilon. We do see that A site now going over into their favor as well. David 2K putting the pressure here onto that C site, looking for those headshots. He's got to be able to hear these footsteps, right? As there are 2 players sitting onto that C flag, and you know, this is a pretty ballsy mood here for David to just sit here. He is going to be waiting in where they do push back out. Can't win the fight, though. He does trade, but he can't get the gunfight. Had he have won that, that would have been massive. He would have been able to put the pressure onto that C flag and at the very least pull back any reinforcements that would have been coming over here onto Solo House. Duke PT, though, trying to go back and forth, will not win the one-on-one, and Solo House will return into the favor here of Dexterity. 137 to 128. In favor currently of Epsilon, and this doesn't surprise me. Oh my god, I do apologize for this, guys. I am not sure as to why Battlefield 4 is crashing for me. Again, I do apologize, but this map right now does definitely cater to, I would have to say, Epsilon's playstyle a little bit more. Dexterity, they can play on this map, but they're I would have to say that they're more of a linear style map. You know, they're really good on Dawnbreaker. I love them on Dawnbreaker. Siege of Shanghai, they're almost unbeatable, which is going to be a really good one, as that map is coming up next. So that is going to be a really good map for them to get some momentum shift in their direction if they do lose this particular map. But it is now 132 to 109 in favor right now of Epsilon. And we are going to be watching that burn continuing in their favor, and so the tickets are going to be bleeding back down. If you look over here onto Epsilon side, Duke going 8-3, 3-2 so far for Say, 5-3 there for Horrick. So they're doing a little bit better in terms of their kills, but Dexterity managing to come back out right now and to get control of that B flag, so they'll be able to burn down a few of these tickets themselves. Nice pickup there across map for Epsilon. We'll be able to get control of those Bravo buildings. Ooh, David 2K sneaking around over here onto that Alpha flag. Is he spotted out? I don't think he's not spotted out. Oh, what a sneaky play right now. So what this is going to be able to do onto Dexterity is they have 2 players that pushed off of that flag. They're going to go over to help onto that B site. Now they are going to be able to take control of that B flag, but they did lose A for just a few moments. But my God, the reinforcements there are just too good, and that is going to be a potential 3-cap coming in here for Dexterity once again. 113 to 96, almost evening it back up. That 30 ticket advantage is just melting away as Duke PT dies by a rocket himself. Wag, though, holding it onto the C flag by himself. There's a lot of himselfs here. Oh my god. Can't even think straight here, guys. I do apologize. This crashing has got me all loopy. But Dexterity not able to get anything going on onto that C flag. They will lose it to Epsilon, which is just fine. This is the setup that they do want. They want to be able to get control of this BA setup and hold it for as long as possible. This is where you milk the majority of the time on the clock. 2 more players spawning back in for Epsilon. They should be able to get onto that burn here pretty soon, but Wag reinforcing out. They have plenty of time right now for Dexterity to get spawns in onto that A site. Yeah, this is definitely not good for Epsilon. They don't have any presence at all on these flags, and they're certainly not moving fast enough on these flags. They gave plenty of time, like I said before, for those reinforcements. Wag picking up one that will be safe going down. His teammate's going to be able to help out from behind, taking down David 2K. So, yeah, Epsilon here looking horrible, I would have to say, in this first round of the second map, even though it's their map of choice. And that would be David 2K right there, trying to reinforce towards that alpha site. They do have control of C flag, which isn't getting pressured just yet, but really right now, they have to get onto this flag. They got to stop this burn. You know, Dexterity is feeling pretty confident right now. They have really, really good control, map presence, and they have the lead at the moment. Plus, they have that one map advantage there towards the beginning, so they really, really need to pull something out in order to stay back into this game. Not only you know, stay in terms of map counts, but also they need to stay in it mentally. You know, Epsilon here, they are a very, very good team, and they have played a lot, but you know, mentally, you need to be staying on top of things, and this team, if they get mad, I could definitely see Epsilon, if they are frustrated, just failing this out miserably. 54 tickets, 286. We are going to be seeing Dexterity still going back and forth. Really good plays. I'm liking them so far. Court going down to 9. Still sticking with this double engineer play from Dexterity. As I said before, it's going to allow them to blow down just about every single one of these walls and put they basically take down every angle that Epsilon could have. But Dexterity looking so darn strong right now. 41 tickets, 285 as they do push in onto that C flag. And Epsilon now with big spawns coming back in for that B flag. See if they can get anything going off the back end of this. So far, it's not going to be the case. 9 now repositioning himself over towards that alpha site. Not going to be able to get the rocket kill, but he finishes it back up with the ACR. So beautiful plays coming out, as I said before, for Dexterity. Looking at the KDs, 12 and 8 there for 9, 12 and 8 for Nesk, 12 and 9 for Pronat. Looking so darn good, and every single one of them, except for Wag, actually are positive. But they are going to be able to close this out pretty quickly here if, as we said, Epsilon doesn't get something going on. They're looking decent in the frag department. I mean, they're not. It's not bad. 15 and 11 there for Duke, 10 and 6 for Mayic. Even 7 and 12 really isn't that terrible. It's just that they're not getting onto these flags. They're not able to cause the damage on the flags that they need to. They need to get those burns. And I've stated this many, many times before, guys. This game, while it does feel like TDM with flags, you still need to get that flag. And if you don't get onto those flags, you don't get that ticket, well, you're not going to win the match. And that is going to be the case here so far for Epsilon. 17 tickets, 267. We do see one player here, David 2K, in the backfield of that alpha flag. He's going to be able to try and do as much damage as he can. Picking up one. We'll be able to get the burn as well, but the rotation onto that B flag has already happened. I really don't see them being able to come out of this with too many tickets on their side. You have a 1-on-2 situation, now a 2-on-2 situation. Hort going back and forth. He will be able to trade out with one. Duke BT finishing up the second one. Epsilon getting a little bit too careless here, leaving that A flag quite undefended. If they're not careful, it will get taken down from behind. 15 tickets, 264. And again, I don't know if they're going to be able to take the win here, but they do need to drag these tickets down as much as possible. And there's that opening that we were talking about before for Dexterity to get onto that A site, as it should be burning right about now, and it is doing just that. Nice play there from Duke, as he does take down two of the players from Dexterity, staying alive as much as possible here onto that B site. Needs to get the burn as fast as possible. He does not have that medic kit, so he will be taking a lot of perma damage. Now 1-on-1 here, David going back and forth. Can he hold on to this? C flag in their possession. B site also in their possession as well. 12 tickets to 50. Two players pushing up for Dexterity onto that B side. David doing all that he can, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as he does completely get overwhelmed. No chance for him to actually survive there. Wag doing his best here to go for a back race onto the A side. Gets the two-piece as Wag clearing out A by himself, basically clutching out the game. I really don't see Epsilon coming back now. They are in no position here to do any damage onto any of these flags. We do have Meg trying to push in onto that C flag, or sorry, B flag. There were 5 tickets left on the board, and where Wag is actually sitting at, there is no chance for them to actually get this burn out in time. Yeah, Ness there doing the damage, getting the 2-piece as well, just locking it down. Great job right there from Dexterity. 0 and 46 will be the ticket count for Dexterity right from the start. So not looking too good here for Epsilon. As we said before, the next map is Siege of Shanghai. Now, I'm not saying that Epsilon is a bad team on Siege of Shanghai. I'm just saying that Dexterity is a really good team on Siege of Shanghai. So that's going to be something that they really need to be worried about. Again, mentally, it looks like... But it's not... They're not playing bad. Look at those scores for Epsilon. Those are not bad scores. They're really not. It's just that they're not getting on the flags. They're not able to get the burn. And that is the key part right now. Dexterity is able to stay on those burns. They're able to win the fights that matter. See, what Epsilon, the fights that they're winning are out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, they may get a 3-piece, but what does it do? Nothing, because there's no flag there for them to cap. And then by the time they do rotate in a position to get a flag cap, well, it's already too late. Dexterity has already either rotated to their own back flag, or they have enough players that are going to be spawning back in to be able to defend that particular flag. And I think that right there is going to be the deciding factor. Epsilon needs to start winning those fights on the flags, and they have to start defending them better. They have to start defending them better. Alright, so let's see if everybody is still in the match. Yes. Alright, so we have flip sides. We are going to be seeing Dexterity on the US side. This is going to be, like I said, a little bit of a harder side to have at first. I think it's the easier breakout side in my opinion, just because you have so many choices as to where you can go, that the other team really has to react to you. So it's all about where do you want to put the pressure. With Dexterity, they can go, I don't know, I think Dexterity is going to go for a fairly even breakout. I think they should go for 2 to A, 2 to mid, 1 to B. They could go 1 to Solo House if they wanted to wrap all the way back around there and just put 1 over there onto to Bravo buildings. That is definitely a doable situation, because it would allow them for a very quick rotate to that C site if Epsilon does go for a heavy A push. I don't think, or I'm sorry, if Dexterity goes for a heavy A push. Had that turned around. Sorry, guys. But I really don't know what Epsilon is going to be doing out of this. I think they're going to go for the safe play. I think they're going to go for 1 to 2 to A, push down into mid, B flag, kind of try and hold it there. And that is what we are seeing. So, yeah, we are going to be seeing 2 over here into mid. But that was actually a really good call there for Epsilon. They, not that they read Dexterity, but they definitely hit it on the nail on the head there as to what they were going to do. Dexterity losing out every single one of their gunfights onto those Bravo buildings. Julio, though, picking up 1 with the rockets. Nice play, getting some damage there as well with that ACR. So they have managed to get control of that Solo House, which is going to be a really good launching point for that Bravo flag. And if you take a look right now, they're winning out onto B and immediately getting that 2 flag advantage. Epsilon here in a lot of trouble, not in any really position to do any damage at all. They're kind of stuck out in the open. None of them are really in power plays. We do see Epsilon now jumping onto that C flag. Potential here for Dexterity to hold on to this. I don't know if he actually sees him onto his left-hand side. And he's going to be taking the same position there. I believe it was Borek. Oh no, safe. Spots him back out, and he does end up going down. Yeah, that was just a bad situation all around for Dexterity. But they are managing to keep up that pressure onto that C site. Nice play here so far. Hort going down. Nesk doing the damage that he needs to do. Keeping that pressure up onto that C flag. 144 to 132. Getting that lead and controlling the map flow. I have to say, they are definitely controlling where these engagements are going to be happening, and they're dictating the pace of the map right now, which is another big deal. If you can dictate the pace of the map, if you can kind of control the setting, then obviously you have a good chance of winning, if not almost guaranteed chance of winning. 141 to 124 now, 20 ticket lead. Big pickups here from Dexterity to get back up onto that Bravo flag. Should be able to cap that, no problem. We do have some back A spawns as well, but look at that rotation coming back in once more. And Dexterity will be able to spot out both of these players sitting inside Solo House, easily cleans them both up from Epsilon. And we are back to a BC hold here for Dexterity. And really, right now, this is Dexterity doing everything right, and Epsilon just not really. They're not doing anything wrong. They're just not playing like they should, in my opinion. But we'll see if they can actually turn that around. Work doesn't end up getting picked up there onto that B site. Mick trying to make some headway on the backside. He does spot out one onto that Bravo flag. Not going to be able to get the kills on him just yet. But they are in a good position here to get a couple of spawns off. David and Hork both need to be spawning back in. Ooh, you can see there right there, though, Meg having a little bit of lag issues. As he was kind of rubber banding there. And not too bad in the lag department. That's a doable situation. But again, Epsilon is not used to having this amount of pings in playing. So that is another factor that comes into play here. Waiting in for the push coming out from station. Will be able to pick up one, trying to go for that back rage, but that's going to be it. Safe now in a position to do some back raging of his own. If they do push up onto that B flag, he's just going to be waiting very, very patiently. Nobody left for Epsilon and any other position on the map to try and get onto a flag. They do get those randoms, which will allow them a couple of jungle spawns. And that is going to be safe, picking up one very, very patiently. Can he get the two-piece? No. He does end up failing on that two-piece B flag. Now going back over here towards Dexterity. I want to see if Mayek can actually come out on top in this C push. Because they do need to make something happen. Again, they're back behind quite a bit, and Mayek failing there. Two players actually failing there, as that was Wag picking up a nice little two-piece. David 2K now pushing back in onto those Bravo buildings. Will eventually go down. Wag with a 1-on-3 situation, picking up one, takedown Hork, not going to be able to pick up two, but it doesn't really even matter, as we are getting very, very close to those 45 tickets. I believe it was 45 tickets. 46 tickets. 128 to 76. We're seeing 20 more tickets here for Epsilon to try and make a comeback here on their own map. We could be seeing Dexterity going up 2-0 very fast in this best of 5, which would be very surprising, I would have to say, as I was hoping for a very close match. I wanted to see a game number 5, to be honest with you guys, absolutely, but we'll see if that's going to be the case. Epsilon still has some chances to come back. They do get control of that B flag. They now have a triple cap situation, and that will be Mayek able to trade out with one, so now it's going to be a 2-on-1 situation onto that C site, 117 to 61. Taking a look right now at the KDs onto the Dexterity side. 12-5 for Wag, 6-3 there for Julio, 8-5 for 9, and 6-7 there for Nesk. Looking really good all across the board. So far, no pushes are going to be coming in there for Jungle, as they did end up backing on up. See if that's going to be the wisest decision here, as they do put a lot of pressure onto that B site. Nice pickups onto Duke PT. We are going to be seeing Epsilon starting to fail out onto that B site. Nobody is going to be transitioning back in just yet. 104 to 58. About 10 tickets left. Epsilon going to try their damnedest here to come back in an almost impossible situation, as Dexterity will start to get back control of that B flag. Wag now transitioning back over here towards that A site. Two players from Epsilon will be up and alive. Explosions going down everywhere, but Wag somehow able to stay up and keep this push going on. He does end up getting picked up. Now a back rage here from 9. As Pronet will come out with the last kill onto that A site. Now it's going to be burning back down into their favor. And guys, that is going to be game. So congratulations there to map number 2, going in favor here of Dexterity. 49 tickets. 47 tickets. Once it does go below this 46 ticket mark, it will be all over. No more spawns here for Epsilon, and of course they do have to drain them down. 93 more tickets. So as I said before, congrats there to Dexterity, as they're going to be going up 2-0 in this series, looking very, very strong. And while I would love to see Epsilon coming back with an amazing win, 3-on-5 situation and burn down 88 tickets, I don't think that's going to be possible. And if it was possible, why didn't they do that to begin with? So you have to wonder. But anyways, guys, we are here for the BPL Grand Finals. This is Dexterity versus Epsilon. Dexterity winning out in the South American, North American group stages, as well as Epsilon winning out overall in the European group stages. Hopefully, we are going to be seeing a more than just 3 maps. I'm hoping that Epsilon's going to be able to bring it back here, as we are going to be seeing. Oh my God, the shakes there! You're killing me, man, killing me, making me motion sickness. But we are going to be seeing Siege of Shanghai for our next map. If it is written down correctly here. Yes, Siege of Shanghai. Again, these guys are playing for quite a bit of prize. It is going to be, I believe, a home theater system, headset, and a mic for first place is going to be worth about $5 grand. I think it's like $4,800 is what it's going to be worth. Pretty impressive right there. Second place will be getting a headset.